Anyway, so all right, there's the first couple things I want to go over with were more like club stuff that needs to be done. If anybody wants to get involved, this goes for like everybody that's here, but also everybody that's going to be watching the meeting back after the fact. Basically, we have I just posted this past week about the different project managers we need for the different builds. So for the Christmas Village, the apartment building, Tilewood, Minecraft, and then the Modulars project, which is, again, that's not really its own build. That's just kind of getting the modulars refreshed so that they can be set up for the grand opening thing in the fall. As people sign in, we'll take attendance for online members a little bit later on. Oh, you know what? I can do that after the meeting because I've got the recording. I can go back and get everybody. So if you're signed in online, I'll make sure that I get your attendance added after the fact. Okay, so I added all of the descriptions of the project managers and the basic gist of it. Like, I'm not going to reiterate all of that information because it's on there. But basically what I put down is everything that needs to be done to get that project from where it's at right now to where we want it to be in the fall. So for example, for the apartment building that you were just working on, I basically said we need to build at least the 3 more sections, but the goal would be to get 4 more sections built, or I'm sorry, to get at least 1 more section built so that we have 1 9-story building. But the goal would be to get 4 more built so that we have 2 9-story buildings, because between those we have enough apartments already to display. Also, if anybody wants to do a custom apartment, that's a great like short 1-day build to jump in and get those done. If you are thinking about doing a custom apartment, just let me know what theme you're going with, because we're trying to make sure that we're not doubling up on themes. And I have a list of all the ones that have been done already. I can post them in the discussion board for the apartment building after the fact. I'll put the list of the ones that are already completed. And then Rob, when you see this, if you can put, I don't remember what your apartment theme was, but I know that you have your apartment box that you bring separately to shows. So if you could just remind us what the theme was for it, that would be great. Okay, we have a couple different things that we need help with as far as the club goes. I had talked to, oh, I'm so bad at names. I literally just got done looking at it. Oh, I don't want to touch that. I keep forgetting. If I go on a Discord on my phone, it might disconnect me from the call. So I feel so bad forgetting his name. I literally was just reading it 2 seconds ago. But one of our newer members is a graphic designer. So we wanted to get some posters and some like roadside signs, like those political signs done. And literally this is what we had made before and we're going to use. So if anybody is interested in making something better, if you have any suggestions. The biggest thing is, like with the roadside ones specifically, some of these will be in places where people can stop at like a street corner and might be able to actually scan the QR code, or like somebody might be walking by, or whatever. We're also going to put probably 2 of these out like in front of the clubhouse, one right out front and one down at the corner. But other ones might be like, we're going to ask members to take one home if you're in the area and like put one out in front of your house for a couple of weeks, because we're trying to spread the word and let people know we're here. We're going to print 2 different ones. Half of them are just advertising the club to let people know that we exist, and the other half are going to be specifically aimed at the grand opening in the fall. So we need to get those done at some point in the near future. We also have, I think I'd mentioned this the last time we got together, we have a whole bunch of minifigs and sets that need to be priced. So if anybody's looking for something that they can easily do from home, we have a whole Google Sheets document where all of the sets are listed and like the set number and what the set name is. If anybody's got some free time that they're at home that they can go through and yeah, I mean, it would be great because we need to start knocking those off that list. So that we can actually start getting the shop set up, because obviously we can't get it all set up and not know what anything's gonna, we can't have nothing priced yet. So if anybody has time and you're looking for something to do. The other thing is I just put up a whole list of parts that we need. I started with the ones that I recently picked up some at Pick a Brick that basically, like, if anybody's at Pick-a-Brick or at the Lego store already, and you want to grab some extra parts for the clubhouse, like I made a list of the ones that were at the local store and just basically said, hey, grab more of those. But I also am going to be posting the list that we've had written in the clubhouse. For example, the 1x1 black and white plates, we need a bunch more of, because I want to order all of the parts that the clubhouse needs, like kind of at one time. And I want to price match them from the Lego. Is anybody familiar? Has anybody used the new Lego? I don't. Is it called Pick-a-Brick on the website now?
I think it's called Pick and Build, or it's something like
that. It used to be two separate things. They used to have like you could go on and you could get parts. It was like you could get like replacement parts, or you could go on and like buy bulk parts. I don't. At some point they combine the two.
Yeah, and I'm not sure on the name.
I can't remember what it's called. I know you'd think that I would have this all written down. But anyway, we need to look up the parts that we need and basically price them at Lego versus like Bricklink or whatever. And like I said, I want to order a bunch of those parts all at one time wherever possible. Obviously, it'll save a lot on shipping, but if anybody is, especially if you're already savvy at using Bricklink and that's something that you know how to do, if anybody's interested in helping out from home and you don't know how to do these things, I will gladly like jump on a video call one day with just you and explain like, here's the Google document, here's the link on how you get into it. This is all the information that you need. Basically, all we need is the current selling price for the set and which of the websites, because there's like 5 different websites that you can pull the current like value of the sets from. Similarly, I'm looking for somebody to help go through our Google Calendar that's specific to the lug and add all of the lug birthdays and like upcoming meetings to there. Similarly, we need help with the social media. So if anybody is interested in like making regular posts to the Instagram, we have like, there's plenty of things that we could photograph. We can photograph things that are going on here at the clubhouse. I would encourage, if you're here doing a build, take a picture of something that you're working on. Take a picture of somebody else, as long as they're okay with it. Take a picture of somebody else that's working on a project currently. I always end up forgetting to do this when I'm here because I get involved in like 400 different things. But if you see somebody building something, or if you are working on something, try to take a picture of it so that we have things to post. We had thought about reapplying for official status as a Lego user group, but in order to do that, like there's certain things that we have to have already like up and running as the club. And one of those big things is that like we need to be showing activity on social media. And if we're not regularly posting and keeping up with that stuff, that won't happen. Sorry, let me turn that down so that doesn't keep happening. My phone is very noisy all day. Okay, the other thing is, yeah, so the owner of that build, if anybody talks to anybody from shows, and I believe this is what Roman was just referencing, in the fact that when you message somebody on Instagram, it doesn't like alert them in any way. So he said like post on one of her posts and say that I'm trying to get a hold of her. But Courtney Garrity, that is Wizarding World of Bricks, she's the one that built the giant Minecraft castle that was at Brickfest in the past. And we need to find out what the system was that she had her build on, because that's the platform that we want to get built for this upcoming one. Okay, so we had a couple things that we're going to vote on after the fact. We're not going to do it during the meeting today. We don't have a ton of people here, but there has been a lot of discussion about it. We've been talking about what we're going to do for the next group build. And over the last couple of get-togethers, build days, there's been some discussion floating around, and a lot of people seem to like the idea of doing a Renaissance fair. So basically, it kind of incorporates all the aspects of a city build. You can still use regular, normal dressed minifigs. Even some of the minifigs in costumes would probably fit in. We can take inspiration from and ideas from a lot of the like castle Lego sets and the medieval sets that are out there. So that's, you know, like I said, a lot of people seem to like the idea. We're still open to throwing any other ideas that people had. We had talked about doing a pirate island before we kind of had the whole club refresh. And that's still a possibility. So we're going to put an actual vote up this week and get that settled. If anybody has any ideas for a group build, basically the only requirements are that it has to be something that's kind of scalable, something that, you know, a multitude of people can work on. It's helpful if people can build things at home that they could contribute and add on to it, because some people do like to build that way. But it's also, it also needs to be something that can expand in size, and we have to keep in mind the transportation thing, which is why we're trying to find out, what that system was that she was using to transport things, because like I said, we all agreed that like the problem with Tilewood was the setup and breakdown each time. So yeah, if anybody it wants to, okay, so Allison said that she was interested in being involved with getting Tilewood like set back up. Unfortunately, she won't be able to be here for a full day until the end of July. So she had said either the 25th or 26th. I think considering that there's so many other projects to do in the meantime, that we're gonna pick one of those 2 days. I'm assuming that's a weekend, the 25th and 26th. Hang on. Okay, that's a Friday and Saturday in July. So it'll probably be the 26th, because we're probably gonna want to pick a weekend day, so it's easiest for a lot of people. So I'm gonna just tentatively, can you toss me the pen from the sign-in sheet for a second? I'm going to tentatively write down July 26th for reassembling Tilewood. And basically what I'm going to do in the next couple of weeks, if we don't have anybody that steps up and says that they're willing to be project managers for the couple of the projects that we need, like they have to get moving forward anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick like 2 days a week, and then probably one weekend day, either Saturday or Sunday, each week. So like, it's gonna change. I'm not gonna do like Tuesday, Thursday every week and Saturday. I'm gonna rotate them, because I know if there's people that have the same schedule every week, if I pick the same 3 days every week and somebody works on those days, that's not gonna work for them. So I'm gonna pick like rotating weekday evenings or afternoons and evenings, and then like either Saturday or Sunday, like probably try to do alternating, that we're going to basically say, if anybody wants to come and work on the Christmas Village, these 3 days, like next Monday, the Wednesday after that, and I'm going to try to get them all on the calendar and share the calendar so that you can easily reference it and see. We do have a Google Calendar for the club specifically, and if I know it can be like confusing to sign into the Discord and like constantly be looking for updates as far as the schedule. So what I'm going to do is put the days we know that we're scheduling on the Google Calendar. And I believe there's a way that you can not sign in, but sign up for a calendar, and that you can see all of the scheduled things, even without like having that calendar be the calendar on your phone. I don't remember exactly how to do it. If anybody does, by all means, like jump in and let me know. But I will look it up after the fact, and we want to get all of those dates on the calendar. So like I said, we're going to do July 26th we're going to rebuild Tilewood. So if anybody's available that day, we're going to plan ahead. We're basically going to get all of the stuff that's in the back. We're going to pull up the reference images that we have printed for how it went together the last time, and we're going to put Tilewood all back up and see what, like any minor repairs that we can do that day, we're going to make right then and there. But any major repairs, we're going to kind of make a note of. Lincoln, what was the status of the 2 big rides? Had they both been fixed?
Which ones?
The roller coaster, or both of the roller coasters, the loop coaster, the red coaster, and then were they the 2 that needed repair last time? Because I think the Ferris wheel was all together.
I think so.
Did you end up
Pretty
getting?
sure I got the loop coaster fixed. I don't know about the other coaster though.
Okay, is it back there on the table?
The loop coaster?
No, the other one, the red coaster.
I don't know. I know the loop coaster.
Okay, so at some point in the next, like, in some point after the 26th, are you going to go check? Oh, thank you. All right, just watch your step. There's a bunch of stuff back there. All right, so if you are interested in helping to put Tilewood back up after that weekend when Tilewood is reassembled, then we'll reassess and figure out what, like if we're going to do any replacements on the stuff there. We've got a couple of rides that I wouldn't mind taking off of the pier. If anybody's interested in building a ride, especially one that moves, this would be a great time to like, get involved with that. And you've got plenty of time to plan it, because we can, if you figure out kind of what you want to do. Right now, we've got a bunch of rides that came from sets that are taking up space on the boardwalk. So if we can replace those with something better, like obviously that would be great to do. Okay, let me think what else. Okay, so one thing I know for sure that I'm gonna do starting this Monday, on Monday afternoons and evenings. Did you find both roller coasters?
The red one's it's back there, but it's not fixed.
It's not okay. It's in pieces. It needs to be repaired.
A little bit. I mean, there's
Okay.
some stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah. So anything other than the two big rides, we'll figure out when Tilewood gets back together. And if anybody wants to either help with any of the smaller rides or wants to replace any of the sets, we've got the fairground mixer is on there. We've got a couple of the smaller creator rides, like the that space UFOs 3-in-1 creator ride where you crank the handle and it like they fly in a circle. There was a couple of other. Oh, this I know one that needs repair for sure is the small Ferris wheel. The one that says like fun on the side of it. It's a 3-in-1. If anybody wants to rebuild that, 98% of the set is there, but it is in a whole bunch of pieces. And it's been repaired 2 or 3 times, and it's got some major, like the last time it was repaired, it looked good on the boardwalk, but you couldn't even make it turn because like something wasn't repaired correctly. So we need to fully take that set apart, and we either need to rebuild it according to the instructions so that it works and turns, or we need to start over completely fresh and like put a different ride there, because we don't want the ride that's right at the end of the boardwalk that everybody can see to like not even be movable. But yeah, anyway, so after Tilewood goes back together at the end of July, we will make a list of anything that needs repair or replacing, and we'll even update the discussion board with pictures. So you'll know what needs to be repaired. And like, if anybody wants to build a boardwalk shop and they want to work on it at home, whether you need to borrow pieces from here or whether it's just something you work on, we can discuss. We can be like, hey, we need a shop that fits in a 16 by 32 is 16 by 16s, so like a 32 by 16 space, because I know for a fact like the one arcade, all the arcade games are good, but the actual bones of the arcade, that building falls apart every time we take it off of Tilewood. So if anybody wants to build, like, we'll give you the exact size of it, because it obviously has to still fit in the place on Tilewood where the old one was, so that we don't have to rearrange the entire boardwalk. But yeah, we'll put that list up on the discussion group. So that's what's up with that. Anyway, so I started saying, so on Monday evenings, we're gonna have minifig Mondays. We've got a bunch of stuff that needs to be done, both for the upcoming group project, whatever we end up deciding on doing, if we're using like the medieval type figures, like Renaissance figs, if we need a bunch of regular city figs in like mundane, like normal clothing. We have a ton of figs that are in pieces that are like, we've got like bins and bins of heads and torsos and legs that are either like sorted by color or just all in a giant pile. So we're going to start tackling the minifig situation on Monday nights. So if anybody's around, I'm going to say probably 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. Yeah, like I would say 4. So 4 p.m. on Mondays and later. And then we'll probably go to like, that's going to depend on whoever can come. So like, if people can't come until the later part, we can stay later. If everybody's showing up after work and then has to be out of here by like 8, then we'll stick to the earlier side. I think we'll do a test run the next 2 Mondays starting at 4 p.m. And yeah, if we can get through the minifig situation, that would be great, because then I can stop telling people don't touch the minifigs without asking me. Like, we'll know where everything is and who it belongs to, and that'll be a lot easier for everybody. So one of the biggest things that we're doing, I'm gonna go grab one as an example, but we're gonna build these plates to help organize the heads. I'm gonna grab a demo one real quick. Okay, maybe I won't grab a whole demo one because I don't know where
There's
What?
one up there.
You like it? I appreciate that. Didn't even see them from where it was. Okay, so basically, this is what we built originally, and these were we called them pages because that's basically what they like ended up looking like. So basically, it's a whole stack of um tile or I'm sorry, plates, long skinny plates that are built to overlap. So like we started with a 1x4 and a 1x8, and we like crisscross the plates overlapping to make them stronger. And we just made them all the same length, which I don't remember. Is there a regular base plate laying around here somewhere? Like a 32 by 32? I think we had a bunch on the table. Hang on a minute.
16. Oh, you're
No.
Oh, there we go. This is it. This is it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so we went just a tiny bit wider than a base plate, so that's fine. So it's probably, I'm guessing it's I think it's 34 studs. Yeah, so they were 34 studs wide. It's just worked out like stability and strength wise. So we would need basically a handful of people to make just the bars, the overlapping thin plates to 34 studs wide. And then basically we went through and we organized, we had started a long time ago and we had them like probably 70% done. We organized all the heads. And so we got them into groups like, facial hair and, ones that have microphones. And we have a whole separate bin of like women's faces and like different monsters. We've got all the heads according to color. So like, these are obviously all the white ones. Because the white ones had a bunch of blank, they use them in builds. We had a ton of those, but what the idea was to organize all of the minifig heads, and then by putting them onto plates like this, if you're looking for a specific head, like we've got a whole bunch of expensive figures that we don't want to accidentally put like a $70, Star Wars figure on a minifig that we either give away at the aquarium games, or that somebody's like, hey, I need a fig to, put in my little build, and then it goes to a show and then it gets lost. And it's like, we're trying to make sure that we pull all the really expensive, like limited parts out. And then that we've got pages and pages of the common and easy to find ones. It makes it a lot easier to find any of the heads. Plus, when you're looking for like specific looking faces, it's a lot easier if you're like, I need a guy with sunglasses, or, like I'm looking for a female head. Even if you're not trying to match it to a specific minifig. But as we are going through the next group build, and also as we're doing trying to get these finished up, we're going to need to be pulling a lot of minifigs for use. So getting these pages knocked out and getting the heads all organized will be a big part of that. There's like 6 different projects that need to be done in the realm of minifigs, but if you don't have to necessarily know anything about like specific minifigs, but if you do have any specialty knowledge, like if you're good with Star Wars or you're good with Harry Potter stuff, I don't even there's a lot of figs I don't even recognize. So if you do know those, please jump in and get involved. Come to one of the minifig nights and like let me know what your specialty is, what your expertise is, because it doesn't make any sense for me to be going through the Star Wars figs and trying to Google image search every single one. Because a lot of people just recognize 90% of them by, oh, I know exactly what movie that's from and who that character is. And that makes it go a heck of a lot faster. But yeah, so from now going forward, probably till the end of summer, on Mondays from 4 p.m. onward, we're going to come in and just tackle minifig stuff unless otherwise stated. Now, if you've got a project that you need to work on, and that's the only night you can come in, you can come in and build something else, but primarily the focus is don't come in on a Monday looking for something to do. If you have something that you're trying to finish, and we're already going to be here, so like you can drop in if you have something to get done. But otherwise, if you're coming and looking for something to get involved in, please, everybody, even if you are fairly new, take a look at the Discord and the explanations of the project manager roles for the different things. Most of them are not super complicated. It's like we need to set up 4 or 5 days during July and August that we're going to say, hey, on the Tuesday the 7th and on, whatever, Wednesday the 13th, whatever the dates are, that people are going to come. And by picking dates for the different things and letting people know, that's how we're going to kind of move forward through the summer, is that we're going to announce, like I said, 2 days during the week and 1 weekend day, and that primarily they're going to have specific focuses, so that we can try to get these things done. Trying to just have a lot of open-end build days is hard because we've got people working on 17 different projects, and that's fine as we get close to a show and we're trying to kind of finish everything up. But I think that we would probably get further with the builds if everybody that was here one day, like for example, he was building working on the apartment building today, and you got a good chunk of the way through the first floor of one of them, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if you're staying after the meeting, but like he's already got a good foundation for the first of the 3 floors that he's building. But like, you know, if we're all here to work on the apartment thing together, maybe 2 different groups can be sourcing parts and bringing them over and finding the pieces that we need. And Greg, when we were doing the pattern on the back of them, you made it so every group of 3 was the same, right? The pattern.
Exactly.
And that was why we took floors apart, right? Because they didn't used to be the same on some of them.
We had an odd number the first time we built them, so these are rebuilt with an even number now.
Excellent. Okay. So, and the other thing is, do you remember if we were short on any of the colored bricks? Like, were we running out of any of those pieces?
The only thing we kept running out of was windows.
Can you spin that apartment building around so I can see the front of it? Yeah, I just don't worry about the tablecloth too much. Sorry, it's not sliding super easily. Oh, because we were using the different colored windows. Okay. Do you don't happen to remember what we were running low on? Okay.
So they all went anymore.
We're trying today. Actually, that's what Lincoln and I were working on, was getting walls, windows, doors put away, because we haven't sorted and put those pieces away in a long time. So it's possible that by finishing that bin, we may free up a bunch of the windows that we need. But even tonight, if anybody that's free before after the meeting and before you head out, if anybody wants to come over and try to go through the window bin and pull some of those, because so for each unit of 3, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 6 windows in each color. So 6 yellow, 6 red, right? Blue and white. So if anybody wants to come over and help dig through the windows, specifically looking for those parts, we're going to have, we've already got a bin kind of started that's got mixed pieces that are set aside for the apartment building. That would be a great big help. And even if you just come and throw those parts in the apartment building bin, it's pieces that we don't have to look for next time.
We also talked about if do with the second building, maybe using some like the airplane windows or a different style of window, just has a little bit of a variation from the first building, like it was not built at the same time or whatever, but the same pattern.
Right, like maybe you mean the ones that have like the rounded,
Right.
like the windows are kind of, they've got like the kind of softer edges on them. Those are the apartment ones, or I mean, those are the airplane ones.
That's where they came from.
Okay, yeah.
Just to be different, little, just a subtle difference between the 2 different buildings.
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking was, we don't have a, we have windows on the side of that building. Do we have windows on the side of this other one? Where was that other 3-piece unit that was sitting over here? The one that you were working on. Where's?
Oh, it's over there next to the build.
Oh, they're both over there?
Yeah.
All right, hang on one sec. So yeah, I see it. Okay, so these all have a side window with like a little like flower box thing. I think we were talking about maybe doing 2 windows on the side, like same thing, like
Right, just a
maybe
little subtle difference.
switching it up just subtly. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. Yeah. Oh wow, you did get a good chunk of the way through that first
Yeah.
floor. Okay, I mean that alone, like in one day, and I think I had mentioned before, the section that goes around the elevator was built from a tutorial. So like if you work on just the main part of the floor, and I can crank out, like somebody can go on and pull the YouTube tutorial up, we can use the giant screen here to pull up like build tutorials, Lego instructions. If anybody is like wants to reference something, like the screen is available, we can bring stuff up on here. And I would like to bring the tutorial up for the elevator shaft. And you already built the elevator that's working. Was the battery dead when you tried it last? Was it dying?
I don't remember. It probably was.
Okay, all right, because we need to get a new battery in there. But we need to build a second elevator according to the instructions, which I don't know. What do you think would be easier, copying the one that's there or following the tutorial for it?
I think it just depends on the personal
Yeah,
preference.
so I mean, either way, whether somebody wants to look at the one that was already done, or again, you could reference both if you want. It was basically a step-by-step build tutorial. You went and pulled the parts for it as you were building it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think they listed them at the beginning. But there's also a build tutorial for how to build the wall around, like the doorway of the elevator, and that's basically all it is to build the other half of the apartment thing. So yeah, so we need to, so if we had a bunch of people here on one day and the goal was to get the apartment done, like I feel like we could get a lot further than if we're all here and every individual person is like trying to tackle something different. So if anybody, the other thing that goes with that, if anybody knows a day of the week that works good for you, like say so. If you're like, oh, if you guys were there on Wednesday, because I hear it all the time, oh, if anybody had been there on Wednesday, I would have loved to stop by. Okay, well, say so, because I would much rather pick days for people to come and build and work on projects that I know somebody can come than to just pick random days and hope that somebody will show up, you know? I mean, especially if I'm going to be here one way or the other, like I'd rather pick days that people can actually come out and work. So that's the big thing with the schedule. So like I said, through July, our goal is going to be we're going to prime this room sometime over the next 4 or 5 days. We got to get up on a ladder and we've got the primer. The primer is actually sitting in there. We've got rollers, like everything's ready to go, especially if somebody's got experience painting and you'd be faster at it. Please, by all means, jump in. That's the last thing that needs to be done out there for the short term. Justin is going to install the sink and that stuff, but that can be done once the room is completely finished. So we need to get the walls primed, painted, and then we have a giant like poster printer, and we want to put something on the wall in there. I haven't really decided what. We were talking about like individual minifigures in like action poses. Other people were talking about like doing a whole group of minifigs, but like we haven't chosen anything. But if anybody has any suggestions for something Lego related, we have a massive printer that we can print it out and put it on the wall in there. I know that by the time we have our next meeting, we're going to talk more about the printers because we got the space where the printers are going to go down in 10 almost completely cleared out this past week. We have like probably 3 more trailer loads, or two or three more trailer loads to get out of the warehouse. And then we'll be able to actually set those up where the bulk Lego was. So I know that a lot of people were excited about getting in there and using the 3D printers and the printers that print on Lego and stuff. So if anybody, we have the information, like I don't know off the top of my head what type of printers they are, but I will get that info this week and put them up online. So if anybody wants to start looking those printers up and like figuring out how they work and like what you can do with them, I will get that information from Justin and put it up in the document. There was something else that I was going through. The main goal though right now, like I said, is to get these things knocked out. Oh, also, Allison said that she was in favor of the Renaissance Fair idea. She said that pick a brick online, so I guess it probably is just,
Yeah.
unless she's, like me and just calling it what it used to be. But so pick a brick online has a bunch of medieval themed torsos and legs that are under $2 a piece. So if anybody wants to dig through, search through the online Lego, like what's available right now and make a list of all the part numbers, that would be great because that would save a ton of time. And then I can just go through and put an order for like, 10 of these, 5 of these, 5 of these, 10 of these, so that we can get a bunch of those bodies here. We don't necessarily need heads and hair. I mean, it's always great if there's new pieces, but like we've got entire bins and buckets full of heads and hair. If we can find some more torsos, obviously we're going to need, if we do go the Renaissance Fair route, we're going to need about half or like a third of the people in character, like dressed up in medieval clothing. And then the other, like, third to 2/3 is going to be people in just regular street clothes walking around. So we're going to need to pick up a bunch of minifigs there. The other thing that we were talking about, and this is looks like it's made of Lego. Well, it is made of Lego, but we haven't decided on what yet. Originally, I think we had mentioned, I don't know if it was at the new people meeting or at the kind of like organizational meeting we had mid-month, about like building like a mascot or something. Somebody was saying, I don't remember, again, I apologize, I don't remember who it was, but somebody was saying that you can look up on one of the websites, like how to build the big giant figures. Like if you want, like I use as an example, like a 4-foot tall Mario minifigure. Like there's apparently a website where you can do that. So we talked about possibly doing something one way or another. We're gonna have to order the brick for it, and we're probably gonna do something that is permanently built like it would be at Legoland, because it's going to be outside, it's going to be exposed to the elements. So we're going to have to probably spray it with UV protectant spray. But the other thing that came up in discussion about the outside thing was possibly building a fountain. Whether we incorporate like a minifigure and a fountain, or whether we build like a fountain and do like Lego florals, like we could do a trellis with a fountain at the bottom. I mean, there's like kind of endless ideas, but I would love for people to, whether you're using, I mean, hey, here's the only feasible use of AI I've ever come up with. Use AI and be like, spit your ideas into there and have it spit out results. They don't have to be built out of Lego in the example, but like if anybody has any ideas for like a cool looking fountain or a cool looking like flower build, or like I don't want to just do like a flower pot. I mean, we can also incorporate real world elements and Lego together to make it work, but I definitely want to build something out there that's sizable enough to get people's attention and that looks like Lego from the parking lot. But I don't have my heart set on anything, and I thought that'd be a great thing for everybody to kind of jump into discussion. And if anybody has any ideas or like can spitball some photos of like your thoughts, like, oh, let's do a fountain, and like here's a picture of a real fountain that we could use as inspiration, that kind of thing. Because we want to get we can't get the ball rolling on what we're building or what we need until we have an idea of what we're doing. Once we have an idea, again, I would like to vote on it by the end of week. So if anybody has suggestions or thoughts, please jump in the discussion and like get your ideas on there, so that we can all kind of bounce those ideas around and come up with an idea. If we have a couple of ideas that people like, we'll put them in a poll on Discord and we'll vote on them. And that way we can figure out like going forward, getting the brick and the parts that we need to actually do it. That was one of the other kind of big things. As far as the work being done around here, I want to thank everybody that showed up for the big push. We had a really good work day. When was that? Like a week and a half ago?
The day
2
I
weeks
cut my
ago?
toe.
What was that?
The day I cut my toe.
Yes, the day you cut your toe. Yeah, I don't think it was last weekend, was it? It was 2 weekends ago? Yeah, we got a lot done. We took 3 trailer loads of stuff out of here ultimately. Oh, we're inspecting the wound. Are you surviving? You didn't lose any toes?
It's
Lincoln stepped on a piece of glass that broke. But we got like a good 3 trailers of stuff out of here. Just the other day, Brandon and I loaded up the trailer again, like finished loading it, and we got another half a trailer of stuff out of here. We do still have a couple days. I didn't even want to reach out to anybody this week because with the temperatures being in the like 100 area,
Oh yeah.
there was no way in hell I was working in the warehouse. I sure as hell wasn't asking anybody else to go out there and work. But yeah, if anybody is able to or interested in like carrying stuff and hauling stuff, we still definitely have a good, like I said, 2, 3, 4 trailers worth of stuff that we can get out of there. I'm gonna be watching the weather like a hawk, and I will try to plan another weekend cleanup day that isn't going to be, I mean, I know that now as we're getting further and further into summer, it's going to be harder and harder to find a day where it's not 1 billion degrees out there. But like the first day that we have coming up on a weekend that's going to be under 80, I'm going to aim for like having one final push. In the meantime, if anybody's available, like for shorter periods of time, like I said, Brandon had come over the one evening, got some build stuff done, but then I borrowed him for like an hour, I think, and we went and got what we could out of there. Maybe it was a little bit longer. But if anybody's available, just give me a heads up and say, hey, I'm going to come out tonight and build, but like if you've got some stuff to move, because that's great. That makes it a lot easier for me to plan a schedule and figure out what's going on. But yeah, so that's kind of the bulk of what we needed to get done. I'm going to, just like I posted the breakdowns for the project managers for the like kind of the 5 main things. Oh, the other thing that we need to do in the clubhouse, we've got a whole big pile of instruction manuals. If anybody, I mean, again, even if it's tonight, if you're free for a little while and you want to, we need to sort the instruction manuals according to topics, because we've got all the boxes. We got, I think, 2 or 3 boxes that we still have to move down from 10, but most of them have been moved down here. We need to get all the rest of the instruction manuals sorted, and the pile is over here. I think it was Lewis that did the grinding. He got the rest of the grinding done in the front room and got all the glue off the floor so that we could have the linoleum tile installed. So that's finally done and out of the way. That's also why everything in the building has like a thick layer of dust and dirt on it now, because unfortunately, despite our best efforts, a cloud came through when the grinding happened, and so now anything that is still stationary from that day has, like, you know, a good thick layer of dust on it. But yeah, if anybody is able to or interested in helping to sort out the rest of them, Lewis took a big pile home and he said he was gonna sort those and then like bring them back sorted. Same thing, that's fine. It's not that big of a pile even anymore, but we do need to sort those, and then we need to get all the boxes are going to go against the back wall to the left side, so right near the door in the back, and that's where they're all going to be set up. So yeah, we need to kind of migrate them all. All the piles of bins are up here, and all the boxes are there, and all the manuals are there. So there's a bunch of stuff that's taking up a bunch of room in the clubhouse, in the classroom, that we would like to get moved and kind of set up. So that was the other main thing. And just that we need to get people back on the Discord. So like, please, when you get a chance, sign into the Discord and participate in literally any of the group boards. Like as soon as it starts to get a little momentum, as soon as people start using it and talking, it usually picks right back up again. But like right now, it's all of the pages since I put up the project managers. Like I said, if you are interested in building a Christmas Village building, or you're interested in working on a custom apartment, not one person is posted in any of the discussion channels though. So I know that like people have been messaging me asking about when we're going to have build days for the stuff, but if I don't know anybody's interested in working on the Christmas Village, I'm not going to schedule that first. I'm not, you know, so like if you want to work on a particular build, please let me know what you want to work on, because I want to focus on the things that people want to get done. Like out of those 5 things, if we don't get any of the modulars touched because nobody's interested in working on it, that's okay. I don't care. We can put all the modulars away and like not have them out for the grand opening. But if we've got people that are interested in working on stuff, like let me know. And if you kind of have your heart set on working on any particular thing and it's not something we're currently doing, like say you're dying to put a train together and none of the things that we have out listed involve trains right now. We do have projects that like our city build, we can easily, we have got Mills plates already that have train track on it. Like we can easily incorporate a train into that, and then you can come build a train. We've got a bunch of trains that need to be fixed. We've got some that need to be built from the ground up. So like, even if you don't already see a build that you are already enticed to work on, let me know, because we can try to incorporate what you do want to do into, the builds that already need to be finished. But yeah, it's going to be a fairly short one today because that was the bulk of it. And then also I wanted to take advantage of while people were here. I also knew that it was later. I know you got a long drive home. So like, I don't want to keep anybody too late tonight. Whenever we have meetings that run later, I'm going to try to make sure that they're a bit shorter, because I know some people have to work early the next day. But for everybody that's here, let me get attendance real quick from everybody that's online. Is anybody signed in on Discord on their phone?
Oh yeah.
Or can you pull it
I,
up real
I
quick?
can pull it up.
Just so we can get the list of the names. Let me grab the thing. But basically, starting at the next meeting, we've got build activities that we're going to be doing again at meetings, and they're going to be at the beginning of the meetings, so that if you're running 10, 15, 20 minutes late, you'll come in the middle of the build and not in the middle of us trying to get stuff accomplished. So
Okay.
who do we have?
We have John Hauser,
Okay,
Oliver. Let me see.
that's fine. Even just the first name's good for most.
Okay. And Roman.
And Roman. Okay, so so we got admin. All right, it does look like. Oh, I think he's logged in as okay.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
It's
John,
your
just
account.
so you know, I think we've got a minifig here that somebody brought for you that is on the shelf back here. We have oh, that was the other thing. We have mailboxes that we're setting up. If anybody can help with the birthday thing on the Google Calendar, once we get them into the Google Calendar, I'll talk more about what's going to happen with that, like why I'm trying to get everybody's birthdays in the calendar. But we also have mailboxes that are going to be set up. So if you have something for somebody else in the club that you are like leaving for somebody, you'll have a place to leave it. So we're going to have the mailboxes with the little little name tags on them, and they're gonna be on the back on top of the white shelves where the instruction manuals go. So like say you're bringing something in that somebody else needed, or you've got parts that whatever, like and also we'll be putting stuff into the mailboxes for people. So for example, we're going to give out business cards to everybody from the club that wants to take them, and the flyers and the even the roadside signs. So like you'll be able to go to the mailboxes and they'll be back there and you'll be able to grab your stuff. Sometimes we get stuff given to us by the Lego store. Like they've given us some promotional materials and some stickers and stuff that they give us enough for everybody. Like last year we got like Christmas labels. So we'll be able to just put that stuff in the mailbox. So you can grab your stuff from there, when you have the chance. But yeah, so that it's, like I said, it was going to be a fairly short one today. If anybody that's here is able to, continue to help out with the stuff that needs to get done, I'm going to be here for several hours tonight. And the biggest thing right now is to pull the parts for the apartment building, since that's something that's already happening. If anybody wants to help us with that door, window, wall bin that we're trying to organize back there, that would be great, because that would help us get that moving forward. And also, if anybody is wanting to build that's here and you want to work on something after the meeting, let me know, because there's plenty of projects that are ready to go. So, all right, I'm going to wrap us up on here. I will post the meeting back on so that anybody that wasn't able to see it, and I will have those couple issues, the discussions up. So the mascot thing and the what was the other thing I said we would talk about and possibly vote on? The big group build. So the topics of the group build and the topic of the mascot or the outside build. I'm gonna get those started tomorrow after I get the meeting posted, and I will share them. Please participate in the discussion. Like even if you just come on or like, yes, I like that idea. Hop on and actively spend a few minutes and get involved with that discussion, because like I said, once we get things moving, there's a lot of people that are more active in the summertime online. They watch the meetings online or they participate online, and they can't necessarily get out here as often because people have got kids that are out of school and they're not able to make it physically to the meeting because they've got kids that are at home and they don't, like they're there all the time instead of being at school 5 days a week. We will get, I didn't even think about that too. I will try to make the schedule for build days. I'll try to have at least one of the weekday builds start earlier, and we're going to try to have them be kid friendly, so that if anybody needs to bring a kid with them that's on the younger side, we'll try to have some stuff set up in the classroom that they can actively play with. And it's just going to be important that anybody that's under 11, that we kind of keep them out of the back half, so that they're not into where all the sorted Lego is. So if you have to bring, normally we say try not to have kids with you, but on those build days, we're going to make some exceptions so that if people that are further out or that have kids want to come and build for a while, we're going to try and have like some sets up here or a mixture of Lego and Duplo that they'll be able to actively build with in the classroom, so that like your kids can do something while you're building, and so that we're making the most of that time. So we'll try to make one of the weekday builds. Like I try to make the weekend build days long anyway, but I'm going to try to do one evening build and one daytime build that goes into the evening. So I will announce, what's today, Friday, right? So by Sunday, I'll have up the schedule for this upcoming week. And again, if anybody has any like days that they're available that you want to come out and build, try to let me know before Sunday. So like if you're like, oh, I'm free next Thursday, try to let me know before Sunday so that I can take that into account when I set up this week's schedule. And then going forward, if we get some project managers on these projects, those people I will discuss with setting up the days going forward. Because obviously we're not going to have all 5 projects, well, 6, including the Star Wars build. So we won't have all, build days for each thing every week, but we're going to try and, space them out so that if you're dying to build Star Wars ships, you don't have to wait 3 weeks to come in and do that. All right. So that's basically that. I am going to get the online meeting stopped. And if anybody, like I said, that's here is able to help out with any of those things getting done tonight so that we can keep the apartment building moving, that would be great. So thank you, everybody. Have a good night if you're online.